This is a small tutorial on how to get LaserDRW, which is actually the Corel plugin for CorelLaser, to cut and engrave in the same job. Originally, when I tried doing this, every time I would go to do the vector cut, the vector would start or just wouldn't be the same scale that the raster was. And so after a lot of messing around and a lot of experiment, I finally got it to work correctly. So the first thing I did is I went ahead under the layers and I grouped everything under one, and then for the vector cut I went ahead and actually made it its own. So I'll show you what I mean here. I'll just turn that off. So that's actually the cut job there. I wanted it to cut the outside of the oval. So when I do this, I just go ahead and select, let me turn off this one. So I just go ahead and select what I want, which it'll select everything here under the layer. I go up and I hit engrave. I have mine set so that it opens this up automatically, which I'd recommend you doing as well. The important thing to note is that your engraving data is WMF, normal Windows meta file, and I always use only selected. So as far as the other options, I tried to read the translated Chinese menu, and basically it talked about always optimize data anyway, and I'm not quite 100% sure what this is. And then the rest of these I've always left, but I have it set so it always displays the dialog box. So go ahead and click OK. Now, depending on where you have your origin set, it'll bring it into the LaserDRW screen. And this, as I said, is the same as LaserDRW. It's just using the Corel plugin. So now I have it engraving. Sunken means it'll do like it shows. If you uncheck sunken, everything that's white will actually get engraved. Everything that is black will actually be left, so it's like a negative. For my engraving speed, I like to have it set about 150 millimeters a second. These aren't that important, it's just where this is starting. As you see, they'll change. I set don't go back, so once it's done with the job, it'll stay where the job started. Now here's where you actually want to set it. So rather than do all layers, you want to change it to dialog. And let's see if I can clear it up a little bit. So dialog, and hit add task. Now it'll process, you'll see there in the corner, and then it disappears. So now it's telling me to go ahead and select what else I want it to do. So in this case, the only other thing I want to do is have it cut it out. So for this one, let me go ahead and turn that on. I'll deselect everything up here under the main logo, and now I'll just check my vector cut, which, as I mentioned earlier, is just a solid black oval. So it doesn't matter if I have that on or off, but now I'll go back up to the toolbar here and choose cut. Now this is the important part. Change your cutting data. Normally this is set to PLT. However, what I noticed is when I ran the job in PLT, I'm not sure how it was calculating the size of it, because the oval was actually about a centimeter or a millimeter and a half too long and too tall, which seemed that was what was causing my cuts to be off. The only one that I got it to work correctly on was actually choosing WMF. So just click OK, and again, only selected. As you bring it into here, don't move this, because if you do move that, it'll move it on the machine. So that is the same origin that it started the other job. So dialog's the same, and what I'm going to do, starting means after I add this task, it'll go ahead and start the job. And again, change your speed since this is a cut. I have mine down to 5 millimeters a second. And if it was complex, I might change this, but I'll just do nearest and then the shortest route. So as I hit add task, again you'll see it go, and now it's actually starting to do the engrave job.